Josh from the Review Brothers here, and today I'm going to be doing a solo review of the new film, The Circle. Now before I begin this review, I have to say that this won't be done fully in a traditional style. Instead, it will mostly feature my thoughts on The Circle, and I can't do a traditional review for this, guys. But don't worry, there will be other traditional reviews coming out soon, like our Guardians of the Galaxy review. Potentially, we might still see Fate and the Furious. I don't know. But don't worry, guys, more traditional reviews in the future. This is just a very disappointed me trying to get through a film that I was looking forward to. I really was looking forward to this film. And honestly, it's not great. But let's get into my review of The Circle. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give some credits and plot synopsis on this. So, the film is directed by James Priestley. It's written by James Priestley and David Eggers. And David Eggers is, yes, the person that created the book that this film is based off of, The Circle. Now, the thing about that is and we'll get into this a bit later, is that the book is a lot better than the actual film, and they made Eggers take so much stuff out of it that could have made this film amazing. Now, the film stars Emma Watson, John Boyega, Tom Hanks, Karen Gillan, Glenn Headley, and the late Bill Paxton, may he rest in peace, and Patton Oswalt. Oh, and I forgot, Eller Coltrane from Boyhood. The story is about May, the main character of our story. She's hired to work at this highly influential, powerful tech company and is told by the owners and founders to embrace it and to start going into this different experiment that they have planned for her. And she begins to start to wonder if she's doing the right thing or if it's affecting their life. So that's a little bit of what the film's about. Now I'm going to just talk about the film itself, alright? They're watching you, or are you watching it? These would all be good questions if The Circle was a really memorable film. Sadly, it's not. It's contrived, it's unfinished, it's different yet generic, uninspired, and a mess of a film. Now, to understand this, in any type of context, we have to be interested in the story. However, ultimately, the reason why this film will be successful, if it is at all, as far as making money goes, it won't be for the things in the film. It's going to be the things surrounding it. For example, like the cast, which, to be fair, is stacked with a wide variety and a range of talented actors and actresses. The problem is their acting ability is underdeveloped in this film due to lack of characters and lack of character development. The performances are very hollowed, and the actors hide their full potential in a shell in this film. It's as if the actors didn't care, and the result became a very boring film that distracts and annoys. It's long and drawn out, with a plot that goes too fast and too slow at the same time. It stops exploring the true potential of the ideas of the original source material from opening scene. Like, seriously, from the opening scene, it just destroys any of the source material. Now, the film is, once again, as I said, based on the best-selling novel by David Eggers, known as The Circle. A book that is considered a satire. For anyone that doesn't know what satire means, it means something that's supposed to be taken as a comedic parody. It's a joke, not fully under parody, but satire can mean a lot of different things, and satire usually means that it's trying to make fun of that concept. This did not come off as that. It tried to be, serious. Even though it had vlogging in it, for God's sake. That's basically what part of this movie has. It has vlogging in it. This film, however, isn't clever, and it's far away from the original purpose of the book. It destroys any of Eggers' great or witty banter and dialogue that made this book #1. Understanding the new film adaptation isn't hard, people, because the whole story is spoon-fed to you, and the small problem slowly starts to spitball into monumental error. From the first 20 minutes of this film, I could already see glaring issues with almost every aspect of it. If I had to say one thing this film lacked the most, it had to be characters that you cared about and character development. Why, you may ask? Well, because there are plenty of characters in The Circle. Yeah, there's tons. But they're not developed enough for you to care about them, and most of the actors in this film, including most of the big name actors, don't deliver one good scene in this film. As opposed to it, I will say Bill Paxton did a good job for what he had to work with. Once again, may he rest in peace. We will remember you for Aliens. We will remember you for Training Day. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Pros and cons now. Let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's get into that nitty-gritty. To be honest, there is not one thing I like in this film. Now for my cons. We went to the pros, let's get to the cons. This film feels unfinished. With a decent running time of almost 2 hours, the story still manages to be a hollow shell of what the book was. The film is barely based on the source material. Many things in the film were different from the book, and many things that happened in the source material in this film is completely cut. Vital things that would have helped give more context, relatability, and helped the film tenfold. Another thing I didn't like about this film was the acting. Like I said previously, there isn't one good performance in this film with the exception of Bill Paxton. And all the performances in this film, again, with the exception of Bill Paxton, are atrocious. The final 3 things I didn't like about this film, yes, there are 3 more things I didn't like about this film, was the musical choices, the direction, which for the most part was lackluster and very choppy, as well as the writing, which was particularly weak. Now, my overall thoughts and rating for this film, overall, The Circle is a messy and boring film that will both frustrate and annoy you more than entertain. And this is truly sad considering how much potential the film actually had. I'm giving The Circle a 5 out of 10 popcorns, guys, and I really don't recommend you check this out. It's disappointing. Anyways, guys, this has been Josh from the Review Brothers here, telling you to like, comment, and subscribe to us, and peace.
Oh yeah, also, this is Eric behind the camera, and we switched our name back to Review Brothers because, like, no one could say the Friendly Neighborhood Review.
Like, comment, and subscribe to the Review Brothers. Peace!